Hey Insiders, today we're going to talk about our quick guide to transportation to and from parks and resorts on Walt Disney World property. As you know, there are so many different ways to get around Walt Disney World property, to and from the parks, from your resorts to springs. There's a lot of different options Walt Disney World does provide you with, which is awesome. Although there is a lot, it can get a little bit confusing, but that's why we're here to help you today figure out your best routes and plans for your next Disney World vacation so you can get to and from where you're going in the most efficient way to get the most out of your Walt Disney World vacation. First thing we want to talk about is the newest form of transportation on property, which is the Disney Skyliner. The Disney Skyliner is awesome. It's a brand new way to go around from some of the resorts to some of the parks. So the resorts that you can hop on the Skyliner at are the Riviera Resort, Disney's Caribbean Beach Resort, Disney's Pop Century Resort, and Art of Animation Resort. So this is awesome. It's an awesome way to get up and use the transportation. You can also take the Skyliner from those resorts to Epcot or Hollywood Studios, which is also great. A lot of the times they might not run buses from those resorts to Epcot or Studios simply because the Skyliner is more efficient in there as well. So the Skyliner is an awesome way to travel throughout the Walt Disney World property. It has great views. It's not even hot in the summertime. They have windows that can open up and let air through, so you don't have to be worried that's going to get stifling and hot in the cabins. It is awesome and a beautiful way to explore the property, which is fabulous. So the next form of transportation at Walt Disney World is the monorail system. The first monorail line is the resort monorail line. So it'll take you from the Transportation Ticket Center to the Polynesian Resort to the Grand Floridian Resort, stop at Magic Kingdom, and then go on to the Contemporary and back to the Transportation and Ticket Center. You can jump on this monorail line from any of those resorts that I just named, and it'll take you in that order around. So this is something that does stop at every resort on the line. It's not the express monorail. That is something very different. So that is the difference between the express monorail, which is a different entrance at the Transportation and Ticket Center. That one just goes from the Transportation and Ticket Center straight to Magic Kingdom and back around that loop. It is on its separate line, so that will not stop at any resorts. It actually can't stop at those resorts. The only one that stops at the resorts is the resort monorail line. So just be prepared. If you're trying to go to the resorts, you have to take the resort line. Now there are some walking paths between some of the resorts that throughout the year, depending on the heat or construction, you can use on that monorail loop, which is fantastic as well. So you can take some walking paths, but the monorails around that are awesome. Now you can also take the monorail from Epcot to Magic and Magic back to Epcot. So you will, if you're at Magic Kingdom, you're gonna wanna go to the Transportation Ticket Center and you'll see a connection to Epcot. It's also its own ramp entrance if you're just walking from the parking lot to the Transportation and Ticket Center. So you can hop on that one. It'll take you from the TTC to Epcot, and then Epcot has its own station and back. So you can easily get from Epcot to Magic Kingdom while using this monorail system, which I think is fabulous. But it's a great system to go to all the resorts as well as go back and forth from Magic Kingdom to Epcot. The next form of transportation is the buses. Now this is where some people can get kind of confused about what buses you can and can't take. So from resorts to parks, you can take a bus. So each resort will have a bus, unless it's on the Skyliner loop, then sometimes it doesn't have a bus that stops there, to Epcot and Hollywood Studios, but check your bus board for more information to see if they offer that day. But you cannot take a resort bus to another resort. They do not offer resort to resort. So you can't go from like Art of Animation over to Riverside. That's not how it works. You have to go to a resort to a park, like a theme park, like Magic Kingdom, and then take a bus from Magic Kingdom to the next resort you would like to go to. The buses don't run resort to resort. It only runs from resort to park and then park back to resort, which can get really confusing. You can also park at Disney Springs and take a bus from Springs to any park or resort, which is awesome as well. Some people get confused thinking that they can resort hop from the buses. It's just that it doesn't work that way. They want you to go from a resort to a park and then park to a resort. There are also many boats you can take to and from places. Some of the resorts do have boat options, like the Wilderness Lodge has a boat from there to Magic Kingdom and Magic Kingdom and back. There's the Friendship boats from the backside of Epcot to Boardwalk and Yacht and Beach Club. So depending on what resort you're staying at, there could be a bus launch or a boat launch that takes you to wherever you're going. Also know from Port Orleans Riverside and French Quarter, there is a boat that takes you to Springs. So that's something to look at when you're also trying to book a resort, is to see obviously what kind of transportation can be used from your resort to get you to wherever you need to go. And that could really depend on what transportation you want. If you really want to take the Skyliner, then book a resort that's on the Skyliner route. Or if you want to be on the resort monorail resorts, book one of those and then you're on the monorail line for those resorts, which is fabulous. So that can really depend on what kind of transportation you're wanting to take this trip when you're here at Walt Disney World. Also, one of the ways to get to and from the Magic Kingdom is a ferry boat. So you can take that from the TTC over to Magic, or Magic back over to the Transportation and Ticket Center. So the two ways to get to Magic Kingdom from the parking lot if you go and park is the monorail line, or either monorail lines, the resort or the regular monorail line. The resort one, obviously you'll stop at all the resorts on the way to the Magic Kingdom, but the direct access monorail line just takes you straight there, which is great. Or you can take the ferry boat to and from as well. So there's two different forms of transportation to get you over to Magic Kingdom. There's also other forms of transportation like minivans, which is a Disney themed, kind of like an Uber, or Uber and Lyft. If you're trying to get somewhere pretty fast, it will cost extra. All of those will cost extra, but they are options for you and your family. Like I said earlier, you definitely want to be thinking about the ease of transportation for wherever you're going. If you want to just take buses or Skyliner or monorail, there's definitely a lot of options for transportation throughout property. So you won't have to worry about using Uber and Lyft necessarily, because there are definitely plenty of ways to get you to where you need to go on Walt Disney World property. So definitely research what resort you'd want to stay at for property, or on property, for transportation styles. Thank you so much for watching this video. I hope this helps you understand a little bit how to get around Walt Disney World property, and like I said, choosing the best resort for you and your family and friends' needs when you're here on Walt Disney World property. We have our partner Academy Travel. Links are in the description down below that can help you figure out which resort is best for you and help you get that booked, so you and your family can have the ease of all the amazing travel here on Walt Disney World property. Like I said, links for them are in the description below. And if you have any other questions, please leave them in the comments below. We'd love to help you out. Thank you so much for watching.